What is the meaning of free pratique on arrival? You may also have heard of radio pratique in the olden days. Sometimes it's still used, but not so popularly. So free pratique, what does free pratique refer to? So some ports, they grant inward health clearance if the master sends a message stating that his ship is healthy before the ship's estimated time of arrival. And that's why in the olden days it also used to be known as the radio pratique. Sometimes it's still done on some of the ships, but because we used to use the radio or rather the VHF to send the message. Nowadays of course everything is by email and electronically, it's done very fast, but those days it used to be sent over the radio or the VHF, and many ports you still do that, and that's why it was also known as the radio pratique. So free pratique is granted if there has been no death on the ship other than by accident. There has been no cases of illnesses accompanied by fever which has lasted more than 48 hours. Also, there should be no case of diarrhea severe enough to interfere with work. No person on board should be suffering from any kind of infectious diseases. There should be no animal or captive bird on board, and there should be no excessive mortality amongst rats, if any, on the ship. Only in these cases the free pratique is granted to the ship. That basically means the health clearances, ships obtain an approval of health clearance. The vessel is healthy to enter the port limits. The documents that are normally required for a free pratique include the Maritime Declaration of Health, which includes the ship's name, nationality, master's name, the port of arrival, the tonnage, normally it's the net tonnage, but sometimes it may be both gross and net tonnage, details of de-ratting, that is the vessel is cleared of rats on board. Then the passenger list and the crew list, the list of ports visited before arrival to the said port. The reverse side of the Maritime Declaration of Health contains details of every illness or death on board, if any, or none, and the form is then signed by the ship's master. Other documents required for free pratique include a valid de-ratting certificate or a de-ratting exemption certificate that basically refers to the fact that the vessel is free from rats. Normally these certificates, de-ratting certificates, are to be obtained every 6 months, and their validation is for 6 months, and fumigation is not required if the ship is kept clean. Sometimes you may go in some countries and some ports, they are a bit finicky about these and they require the ship to be fumigated irrespective. It depends on where you are coming from, where was your last port. Some ports they require your ship to be fumigated irrespective of whether you've got the de-ratting certificate or not. So in that case of course you must cooperate with the port authorities. You must also have valid vaccination certificates for all crew and passengers. And now of course some basic certification and vaccination is required, but some ports, some countries, they require special certification or special vaccination. For example, it could be a malaria vaccination or it could be a yellow fever vaccination. In that case you may have to arrange it before you arrival the port. You may have to arrange it in the last port, get the vaccinations done, update the vaccination certification so that the crew have an updated vaccination. Finally, if certificate is near expiring, then it must be updated before the persons are getting revaccinated. So these are the documents that are required for a free pratique, and free pratique basically refers to that the ship is healthy, the crew is healthy, and the ship may be allowed to enter the port limits. These days of course you can obtain early approval if everything is good, all the certificates are valid, over email. It happens very fast. So that's pretty much it. So if you are ever asked a question about free pratique or radio pratique, this is going to be your answer. Alright guys, let me know if you want me to cover anything else in this area. Bye for now.